giving your undivided attention. Oh, he's got points at it. Sorry, I gotta close it down when that happens.
Sometimes if you click on that star coach, it pops up.
It does? Let's try that. Last time I had to shut it down.
Try it real quick.
Okay. It'll work out. Oh, there we go.
I hope I was able to make it pretty clear about spending time with your family because time's so short. I believe that you gotta do whatever you gotta do to spend time with your family. Go get some ice cream, go chase some butterflies. It's great being independent, but don't forget, you have siblings. If you combine powers, you can do incredible things. You can flip this world around twice.
Okay, so first off, good morning. Alright. So I'm sure most of you are sitting here thinking, well, what does that video have to do with family? Because I know I was first time I watched it.
One of the things that really drew us to the partnership with Target was the idea of being able to give back to our community. As we started wrestling with how we could accomplish that, the idea of...
There you go, Coach.
Sorry.
So, Coach Quinn gave us this assignment to go and give you all a presentation, and first off, I was thinking about it. Everyone had these subjects about something that comes from himself to talk to y'all about, to give them an insight, and he gave me family. And, family, it's a pretty broad thing when you go and thinking about it. I mean, you're given a family in this life from the very start, and you go and you make that family your own. As you go on through life, you make your own family. You find new family, right? And so whenever you gave me this, we had to go and find a video. And I look up family motivational videos and stuff, and I'm looking. I can't really find anything. There's not too much if you go and look. I mean, there's a couple things, but nothing that I felt like would touch y'all or something I could share with y'all. So I went and watched a couple videos, and there was two that stood out. And the one I showed y'all was one of them. And it was probably like in the top 5 first ones I watched. And I watched it, and then I put it to the side and was like, no, that's not going to work. And then I was looking, and I started doing this a week ago. And then I'd go into class, look a little bit, couldn't find nothing, well, maybe I'll look later. Well, then finally it came to the point, well, Thursday's almost here, I almost have to present, right? And I still don't have a video. So I go home last night, and I go to searching again. It's the same videos I've seen. And this one and that other one keeps coming up. And I'm like, well, what can I get out of these that relates to what we have here? And I watched that other one, and there's a couple things, but Nothing that related to us, to what we have. And so I finally watched this one over again, and I watched it, and it's only not even 2 minutes. And the very first thing that popped out of me is the alarm clock going off at 6 in the morning. And we wake up every 3 days a week now to get up and come up here together. We run together. We go to the weight room together. We go to school together. We go home. We sleep. Some of us go home together. And then we come back here and do it over again. And if you listen in that video, it talks about spending time with your family, your intermediate family. And that's something that you need to keep close to you, because that's something you always have, and some people that will always be there for you, just like how if you look around, I bet you can find some people that will always be there for you. And then it goes on talking about your brothers. Right there before they start throwing each other around, and he talks about brothers and how if you keep each other close and you use each other, y'all can flood the world twice. And when I heard that, I thought about it. And together, there's nothing that can stop you from doing anything. And you notice how they were wrestling, correct? And then you had the one guy playing, and then they all picked up their stuff and went home together. Well, when they're wrestling there, you get in arguments with your brothers, right? No one has the perfect relationship with their brother, get along 24/7. Yeah, you have your disagreements. And you play around with each other, and it's a bond that nothing can break. And just like going at football practice, you hit each other in the mouth, but in the end of the day, you're still walking off that field as friends, and you still come in this locker room together and get dressed together, and just like it would be at home. It's no different. You have a bond with each other, a bond with one another. Whether it be the JV locker room or the varsity locker room, we're all ending up at the same place. We're all coming through here. We're all walking the same stage to graduate. And I guarantee you, after we graduate, we're still going to be and have that bond that we had in this locker room. I know I got an older brother, and he already has come through here, and he has some friends, and they still have that same relationship they still had in high school. It doesn't go away. It doesn't change. And there's been a lot of great football teams that come through Comfort, and there's been a lot of great football teams that we've played this season. And one reason they were so great, and not just football, baseball teams, track teams, golf teams, whatever it may be, there's a bond they have with one another that makes them great. It's like a chain. When you put that chain together, it's unbreakable, depending on how big the chain is. If it's a little swing set chain, it's not going to be able to pull a truck. But if it's a strong enough bonded chain, it's going to be able to pull whatever you want it to pull. So, us here together, I feel, is one of the most important things, and having a bondage with each other is one of the most important things to a family. And when I go on talking about this family, we are family. And through this PowerPoint, there's just a couple different things that I felt in a family that are important. So, whenever I went and put the main word up there, I didn't want to go through and search this word and look for the definition and just copy and paste it and read that off to y'all. I wanted to put the main topic word up there and then smaller subtopic words that you can go off and think of. So when we're going through and reading this, I just want you to think about the main topic word and the subtopic words and what they mean to you and how they affect you and how they affect us as a whole and how they can make us better and just bring us together and mainly just, in the end, have fun and enjoy this. So protection. Protection. Now we have to protect one another, standing up for one another, being there for one another, fighting for one another. I guarantee if you go out there and you're walking around, even outside of school, if you go to the park with 2 of your buddies, and some kids from Blanco or something show up, and they walk up to your friend and they start pushing them around, I guarantee you're going to stand up there with your friend and you're going to push back. So protecting one another and having each other's back. Now love. Love is a broad thing. There's a bunch of different types of love, and I'm not talking about the love, you love your girlfriend or something. This is love in one another. Love that it can't really be described, I don't think, in a way that could suit me. You can only understand yourself when I talk about this. But it's the most influential thing anyone can have in their life. And when I say this, I mean it's the one thing that can change how someone looks at one another. I can tell you there's some people that I look at whenever they move here and I'm like, oh, first influence, I probably won't like them, but then you start hanging out with them and you're like, dang, it's like my best friend, almost like my brother, right? So love. And then courage. Courage is something you have to have in a family. You have to be strong, bold. Strength when faced with pain or grief. There's going to be pain, there's going to be grief, and there's going to be things that you have to overcome. And when you overcome these things, you're not overcoming them alone. You're going to be doing it together as a whole and with one another. Strength. Now we talked about courage just there, and then there's strength. Well, the courage and strength are a little different whenever I see this. So you have strength and courage.